Barcelona's FFP situation is just one that bothers me a lot. And I just hope, I always wish that for once I can go out in the morning and then come back and then have a peace of mind or be able to relax when it comes to this club. But then it seems as though this club is after my life. Because now, for the early part of the transfer window, the news we were hearing is that we are going to get back to the 1-1 rule very soon. When we made all of the signings, we were hearing stuff, from Laporta coming out to say, oh, we're going to be in the 1-1 rule very soon. We're going to be able to operate on that 1-1 rule. Registering players is not going to be a problem, X, Y, and Z. And now we are hearing that we're not even going to be close to being in the 1-1 rule anytime soon. Now, the question is, why on earth are we being lied to? Now, it is so bad that this is now generating the kind of rumor, because I would still like to believe that it is still a rumor at this point that Barcelona is considering selling or to sell Marc Casado. The question is, are we serious? Are we seriously going to sell Marc Casado? Look, I understand that our midfield currently is really, really packed with a whole lot of players. I understand that our midfield is too loaded, and it seems as though that half of us fans are emotionally connected to our players. But the truth is, Marc Casado is not a player that earns too much at the club. He doesn't even demand for so much playing time. He's just there. Yes, maybe we have Marc Bernal, we have Frankie de Jong, we have all those players in the, but defensively, Marc Casado offers us the kind of depth that we deserve, that we should have in the team. And the fact that I'm hearing rumors or I'm seeing rumors, I was at work today and I was scrolling through my phone, I'm seeing rumors like Marc Casado, Barcelona is considering to sell Marc Casado. No, not to mention they want to sell Marc Casado for 30 million. Now, the thing is, at this point, Barcelona is really, really looking desperate. We are so desperate, and so other clubs are definitely going to they would definitely want to take advantage of that. Because how would you tell me that we want to sell a player like Marc Casado, that kind of profile, for 30 million? It is broad daylight robbery. Marc Casado is worth more than that. A fully fit Marc Casado. Now, starting, especially during our Champions League nights and everything, we saw how injuries cost us so many games. We saw how injuries cost us so many matches. Now, imagine having so many players of us having been injured. Imagine some of our players, let me say, virtually almost all our midfielders being injured, and we need someone to fill in that position. Marc Casado is one that would turn up. We saw the way he played against Seoul FC recently. And even not to even mention, we all know the kind of profile, we all know the kind of player that Marc Casado is to the team. So now coming out to say, look, I sincerely want to believe that this is just a rumor. Hansi Flick should not be in support of this. Hansi Flick might not even be in support of this, because Marc Casado is a player that you want to trust. Marc Casado is a midfielder that defensively, the way he does his clean tackles, X, Y, and Z. Funny thing is, he might even steal a spot from Frankie de Jong. You might not accept with me, but we all know that a fully fit Casado should be able to alternate. It should be able to be alternated, or to be, to be alternated with Frankie de Jong. And yes, like I said, we have a lot of people in that midfield. We have a lot of people in that position. It just gives room for competition. They all know that they have a lot to prove, and then they will ensure that they do everything in their power to prove something, and also ensure that they do something, or let me say, they will prove themselves and ensure that they do everything to get themselves to the starting 11. And that is like, okay, fine. Maybe you really want to sell Marc Casado to release for fair play and no, 30 million is a steal. It is a ridiculous amount for a player like Marc Casado. So, in my opinion, that should not even happen. We should not sell Marc Casado. Forget about the fact that I am emotionally connected to my players. We should not even consider selling Marc Casado. If at all we then decide, or the club decides, to want to sell out Marc Casado, 30 million is a steal. 30 million is way too ridiculous, way too small for a player like Mark Casado. Now, that aside, also, there is Araujo news, in the media that he said something that he's not ready to be a backup option. If he sees that Hansi Flick no longer trusts him, he's more than willing to leave. Now, the truth is, Araujo cost around 60 million in the market right now. And trust me, if I was asked how I would want my defense to line up going forward, I think I trust Christensen more. Yes, we might think of having a previous, a way back defense, as in back, with Balde, Araujo, Christensen, and Kunde. Good, I understand that. But defensively, we know how Araujo, maybe it's just preseason, yeah, and we don't want to talk about, say, all of the players that are still being rusty, considering the fact that they all just got back from their relaxations, from their vacations, from their holidays and everything. So we're still trying to be considerate. But the truth is, think about what he has done to cost us matches, to cost us a Champions League. Think about what he has done on Champions League nights that cost us so many things last season and last 2 seasons. Think about that. Now, when I think about this, I think it is more than enough reason for me to say, or for me to consider, that Araujo be sold. Araujo has, over time, proven to do more harm than good in this team. And mind you, he's one of the best defenders in the world. I am not going to lie about that. I cannot overemphasize his pace. I cannot overemphasize his agility. I cannot overemphasize how strong he is defensively. But it doesn't still cover up for the fact that our high line is boarding to be a problem. Our high line is somewhat difficult for him to keep up with. Now, look at the second goal. From Seoul FC in our last match. Kubarsi was clearly there trying to keep the offside, but Araujo puts him on. Now, if Araujo, according to Araujo himself, he already said it, that if Hansi Flick does not trust him enough to get him a starting spot, or if he's not able to secure a starting spot for himself in the lineup, he's going to consider leaving. I wouldn't want to be disrespectful. If I want to be disrespectful, I would then say good riddance to bad rubbish. But then I have to be respectful, because give or take, he's still a player of my club and he's still one of my captains. So I think if look at us conceding. We concede too many goals. Someone asked me a question in the comment section in my last video, saying, do we always have to concede? And I answered the person by saying, as long as our defense looks like this, as long as our defense still leaks, we are definitely going to always, emphasis on always, concede. And the thing is, right now, Christensen is showing more strength. Christensen is showing more signs. He's showing me, it's giving me something more than what Araujo seemed to be given. Look at how Christensen does. He has even taken it up a notch by scoring a goal. Look at that kick. Look at that strike from Christensen against Seoul SC. Now look at the way he defends. The only thing, or the only problem that I have with Christensen right now, is that he needs to stay fit. And I said it again in my last video, and I said it in my last video, and I'll still say it again. A fully fit Christensen is the best defender, is the best centre back that we have in the squad currently. A fully fit Christensen. And I do appreciate the fact that Christensen himself is doing everything in his power to ensure that he proves himself to Hansi Flick. He's doing everything to ensure that he proves the points, the necessary points that needs to be proven. I hope, trust me when I say, I really, really do hope that Christensen manages to stay fit. I personally would choose Christensen over Araujo. Like I said, a fully fit Christensen, because I can't imagine going into those Champions League nights with Araujo with the fear of, okay, it might still cost us. The truth is, if we have Araujo in our defense, as long as he's in our defense, it might even cost us more. this season. We were lucky enough to still go off with a domestic treble, but if I mean, come on, I don't even want to think about it. I honestly don't want to think about it. But if you ask me, defensively, we're still having some leakages. Defensively, we're still not strengthened just yet, apart from the fact that maybe our goalkeeper is, we signed a new goalkeeper and all. But defensively, if you want me to line my back, I think I would choose Kubarsi and say Christensen, or maybe Inigo Martinez and Kubarsi, or maybe Inigo Martinez and Christensen, or Inigo Martinez and Kubarsi. Say because of my high line, and say because of the decision making, because of the intelligence of Christensen. I would definitely go with Christensen over Araujo. But of course, deals are still on. The club, Araujo himself already said he's likely to leave. And because Barcelona might be looking to release ourselves, we might be willing to do everything to ensure that we be able to operate in the 1-1 rule. If 60 million or more comes in for Araujo, it might just be a deal that Barcelona will take. And considering the fact that Araujo himself thinks if he's already saying stuff like, if he doesn't see himself in the starting lineup, if he sees himself as an option, he might consider to leave. So fingers crossed on the sale of both Marc Casado or Araujo. But trust me when I say Marc Casado is not a player that I think we should sell. And if at all, truly, we are selling, or the club wants to sell him, 30 million is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Look at the way other clubs are selling their players, because they know we are desperate, because they know we really, really need this money. We really, really need to do all of this to release ourselves and be able to be effective in the 1-1 rule, or under the 1-1 rule. They know that we would want to jump on this offer. But trust me, 30 million, I just sincerely hope that it stays a rumor. Now, this leads me straight to talking about Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford has finally opened his book to becoming a Barcelona player. You're going to wonder how. He finally made an assist gave an assist to Ferran Torres against Seoul FC in our last match. Now, the thing is, the questions have been, you guys are going to, the rant have been, you guys are going to regret signing Marcus Rashford. He's a lone player, I know, but he's finished. He's this, he's that, X, Y, and Z. I tell you people, I've said this before, and I cannot overemphasize it. You guys know how confidently I have been saying this. Marcus Rashford under Hansi Flick is going to be a different level of beast. And I tell you, he's going to have, give or take, 20 goals and assists this season. Seal that. Read my lips. Marcus Rashford is definitely going to have at least 20 goals and assists. Now, the common question is, Marcus Rashford compared to Nico Williams, do you think he's going to be able to score as much goals, X, Y, and Z? We all know even Nico Williams himself is not much of a goal machine. He's not much of a goal machine. And Marcus Rashford is that player that, apart from the fact that he can play on the left wing, he can also play as a striker. He has this, he has this box threat in him. And so, yes, if you ask me, I'll tell you that Marcus Rashford, look at the way he's been moving of late. Look at how different. You can tell that he has settled into the team. He has settled in very well into the dressing room. Look at Lamine Yamal scoring a goal during the training session and, pulling his celebration. It just tells you that he has settled beautifully with the team. And the way the team have been able to accommodate him, the way they've been able to take him in, it just tells you that, okay, his relationship is enough for them to not want to be selfish with him. And even he himself is trying to blend in to the team. Now, for a player that have been out since April, for a player that just got back from a hamstring injury, and he's already pulling up, he's already turning up the way he's doing, I dare come out to tell you guys that 20 goals and assists this season for Marcus Rashford is the least that I am expecting. 20 goals and assists, say that's the max. Let me give it like that. Considering the fact that he's still rusty, he just got back from injury, X, Y, and Z. Let me just give it that 20 goals and assists. And yes, he's definitely I'm going to come out to say this with my full chest. This is not because of whatever thing Nico Williams did for the club. This is not because of whatever thing Nico Williams did to our fan base. I am confident, I am sure that Marcus Rashford is definitely going to outscore Nico Williams this season. So that is not even up for a debate. It is not something that we should be asking ourselves or even be deliberating. But of course, at the end of the day, I always tell you guys that this is just my opinion. I would really, really love to hear what you guys make of all this in the comment section. Do you think Macasado should be sold? And if you agree that we should sell Macasado, do you think 30 million is not a bad idea? Also, on Araujo, I know a lot of you still think Araujo should stay. A lot of you still think he's like the strongest midfielder. A lot of you still think it's like the strongest centre back that we have in the club. So would you rather we keep Araujo, knowing fully well that it's a 50-50 chance? It might cost us in our Champions League nights, and it might not cost us. What would you make of this? Let me know about that in the comment section. And also, let me know how you would rather we lined up at the back going forward. Would you rather we went back to our usual or our former back line during the days of Xavi? You know, the Balde, Araujo, Christensen, Kunde, the back defense, or would you rather we go with a normal defense? You know, Balde, Inigo Martinez, Kubarsi, and Kunde, or you'd rather we switch to say Balde, Kubarsi, Christensen, and Kunde or Balde? You know, let me know what you make, or let me know what you would, how you would rather we lined up in that back line going forward. Let me know all of this in the comment section. And as you're doing this, please don't forget to like, share, and if you're new to this YouTube channel, please don't forget to subscribe and also turn on your notifications so you can get to know whenever I post a video. My name, of course, still remains Adejoke at DBC. I'll see you guys again tomorrow right after the match. But of course, as always, Visca Barça, Visca El Catalonia. You guys already know I love you so much. Bye.